back to another episode of Play by Play, presented by Win or Lose Sports, sponsored by Project 360 Studios, p360studios.com, digital and marketing. So this is episode number 7. Last episode was an interview with Brianna Garza, who is one of the best shooting coaches in the world. Check out that interview. It was a great conversation. I don't like to say interview. I like to say conversation because it's more of a conversation. Interviews are for chumps. But it was a great conversation. Go check it out, winorloseshow.com, or go to our YouTube channel at Win or Lose Show and any of our social media platforms. So this is episode number 7, week number 7. What week is this? Is this week number 6 for the NFL picks? Week number 7. So we're on track. Yeah, week number 7 for the NFL picks. And we're going to dive right in. So no, before we do dive into the picks, let's actually talk about the Cowboys game Sunday. Since they have a bye week, we have to talk about the Cowboys because that's my team. So last week, on last episode, I really got into Dak because Dak wasn't playing Dak football. And it really had me questioning his ability to play. Now I think we figured it out. Because, and it may be because of the criticism that he's had over the last few weeks about turnovers and him not playing the way he played before he got the contract. So as I see it, he's took that and took the fact that, okay, we have Mike McCarthy calling plays. So now I'm going to accept that, but I'm also going to be able to play the way that I've been playing since I got here, on why I got the starting job in the first place. So let's talk about the stats for a little bit. Dak Prescott was 21 for 30. Had 271 yards passing, 1 touchdown pass, and what's more important, no interceptions, no turnovers. He also ran for 40 yards on 70 rushes, which is great. He used his legs, and that's what we've been clamoring about. Like, hey, Dak is a great runner. It's been like that since he got here. But the last few years, he hasn't been running the ball. And we understand why. He's got injury, the ankle injury. And, I'm sure his coaches are telling him, don't run as much because we don't want you to get hurt. So I understand that. But that is a part of who he is as a player, as a quarterback. And without that being a part of the game, it kind of throws everything off, because that's how he adjusts to not having open receivers. So he sees the field and he wants to run, I believe, but he just didn't have the okay to do it. I think this week he took that into his own hands and said, hey, I'm going to do whatever I can to win this game. And that's the Dak we need every single week. That's the Dak, that's the quarterback that the Cowboys need in order for them to be successful and win in the regular season and in the playoffs. The defense wasn't that great until the last 2 plays of the game. I mean, they played decent, don't get me wrong, but they played great the last sequence of the game when Micah Parsons got the sack on 2nd down, and Gilmore got the interception on 3rd down, which was caused by the pressure that the D-line got on Herbert. So, and they played decent. They got a lot of rushes. I think 47% of Herbert's passes were rushed. So that's the defense we need. It could be a little better. Of course, we don't have Diggs out there, who's hurt for the remaining of the season. But Bland is not bad. I think he just needs to have more reps at that position. He's not bad, and he's a great cornerback. I think he's leading the league in interceptions from the time he's got drafted, which is phenomenal. he just doesn't get mentioned enough because of who we have on the team, which is Trayvon Diggs, and now we have Stephon Gilmore. So I think our defense is still great. We got some adjustments to make as far as penalties, 14 penalties, which is not good at all. 11 accepted of those 14 penalties, and it's just like we can't get out of our own way. We did win the game. Another thing I want to talk about is before halftime when Prescott threw the pass to Michael Gallup and 40 seconds left on the clock, and he didn't call the timeout. Mike McCarthy, which, we expected that. 40 seconds, you're trying to score a touchdown. And then he he ran the ball with Pollard, or threw the pass to Pollard, and got tackled with 8 seconds left. Still didn't call a timeout. Went to a commercial, came back, and it was 3 seconds on the clock, and he kicked the field goal. It's like he's playing way too conservative. He doesn't believe in the offense that he's running. I don't know. It's just a lot of confusion there, and I didn't understand why that happened. But we came out with the win, which is the most important thing. So I just think there's a lot that we need to clean up in order to be considered a great team this year, in order to be considered a playoff team, or even to have a deep run in the playoffs. So that's that. That's the Cowboys. So we're going to do our picks for the week. Tonight is Thursday night football. So tonight I think this is going to be a good game. So the Jaguars go into New Orleans to play the Saints. I got New Orleans winning this game. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is 100%, which is going to cause a problem because who else do they have as far as running the offense? So the Saints are going to win this one. I think Derek Carr is back. If not, they'll still come out with the win on this one. New Orleans over the Jaguars. Next game is the Buccaneers hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta going into Tampa Bay, who's playing well. They lost to the Lions last week, but they still play. It was a good game. They still played decent. And I think this will be a game at home where they'll get their mojo back, so to speak. Baker Mayfield still playing well, and they'll come out with the win. Next game is the Buffalo Bills going into New England. New England is just not, I don't think they're going to win many games this year. Buffalo is still one of the top teams in the AFC, along with Miami and Kansas City. I just think that Buffalo is just too much, of course, for the New England Patriots. They're talking about Bill Belichick's job. You never know what's going to happen with that. It's just not a very successful year for the Patriots. Next game is the Colts hosting the Cleveland Browns, who the Browns are pretty good this year. I think Watson's going to be back, but the Indianapolis Colts at home. I don't know. I think the Browns. I had the Colts winning this game, but Richardson is hurt. I think he's out for the rest of the year because he's going to have surgery. And the Browns is more of a put together team right now, considering the injuries on the Colts half of the field. So I got the Browns winning that game over the Colts. Ravens and the Lions. Shoot. I think this is going to be another tough game. This might be the second loss for the Lions. Just because the way the Ravens played last week, it's just, and they're at home. I got the Ravens upsetting the Lions, I believe. It was an upset because I think the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. But it's going to be upset because the Ravens are, they're okay. They're not bad. Lamar Jackson just has to not turn over the ball, and play his game, which he did last week. 4-2, the Ravens over the 5-1 Lions. Next game is the Raiders going into Chicago to play the Bears, and the Raiders are going to win this game. I got the Raiders over the Bears in that one. I don't think the Bears can beat anybody right now. It just don't look good. Justin Fields he's not consistent. Of course, he played one heck of a game a few weeks ago, and I don't know if he can get back to that right now. So I got the Raiders over the Bears in that game. Next game is the Commanders going into the Giants Stadium, MetLife, to play the New York Football Giants, who are not so big right now. Got the Commanders winning that game. It's just Commanders look better, a lot better than the Giants. Giants don't look good at all. Saquon Barkley and Tyrod Taylor tried to do something last week, but it couldn't work. Didn't work out against the Bills. So I got the Commanders beating the Giants. Divisional game, an important game for the Commanders to stay in the middle, stay at least in competition with the Cowboys and the Eagles by winning this game, especially against the divisional opponent. Next game is another divisional game. The Arizona Cardinals going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. Arizona only won one game. They're 1-5. And that one game was against the Cowboys, who looked terrible that game. And Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks still look okay. They still look good. So I wouldn't count them out to lose this game, especially at home. Got the Seahawks winning that game over the Cardinals. Next game is the Rams hosting the Steelers. Another one of those middle of the team games. Both of the teams are, pretty mediocre at best. Not great, not bad. Steelers are going into Los Angeles. I think Los Angeles has the advantage here at home. And their defense is going to put some pressure on Pickett, and Picnic, or whatever the receiver's name is in Pittsburgh. But yeah, I think the Rams are going to win this game over the Steelers. Green Bay goes into Denver to play the Broncos. Jordan Love is going to have a great game against the Denver defense. It's not that well. Russell Wilson, he played okay last week. Only had 95 yards, 12 for, I think, 27 or something like that. 59%, or 12 for 21 or something like that. Okay, 59% passing, but only 95 yards. So that's offensively, they're not getting the ball up and down the field. No production on the field offensively. So that's coaching. I don't think that's all on Russ. So I think they have a lot to clean up in Denver, but not before Sunday, because the Packers are going to win that game in Denver. Another divisional game. The Chargers going into Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Chargers lost to the Cowboys, as we all know, last week on Monday Night Football. The Chiefs are going to win this game, going to move to 6-1, and still looking like one of the better teams in the AFC and in the NFL. I just don't think that the secondary of the Chargers can do anything with Travis Kelce and the receiving core, which is not that heavy, of the Kansas City Chiefs. But Patrick Mahomes knows how to get the ball downfield. That's going to be a problem with the Chargers defense. Next game is the game of the week, I believe. It's the Sunday night game. Miami Dolphins going into Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Jalen Hurts versus Tua Tagovailoa. And I got the Miami Dolphins winning this game. I think the offense of the Dolphins will outscore the offense of the Eagles. The Dolphins defense is not that great. Pretty decent, but not that great to stop the Eagles offense from scoring. But I think the offense of the Dolphins will outscore the Philadelphia Eagles. So I got the Miami Dolphins winning that game over the Eagles. Sunday night game. Monday night game is San Francisco who's going to dominate the Vikings going into Minnesota. I just don't think they're any match. They do have a few key injuries. Debo, McCaffrey were injured in the game versus Cleveland last week. So I just don't think that that's enough for the Vikings to win that game over San Francisco. So I got the 49ers winning that game in the Monday night game. So if you would like to join our weekly pick'em, go to cbssports.com/weekly pick'em / win or lose sports weekly pick'em. So, and follow us on all social media at Win or Lose Show and our website, winorloseshow.com. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever you find your lovely podcast. We'll be back next week for more weekly pick'ems. Thank you for watching Play by Play.